following conventions of horror films and trailers in general. As a group, we agreed that certain conventions of horror must be portrayed in order to give the audience some sense of familiarity whilst engaging in our trailer. We've done this through the aspects which I'm going to talk about next. Blood is a convention within horror. We agreed that we should definitely use blood in terms of iconography as well, due to the fact that it often evokes fear, especially through the slasher genre where blood is often expected from the audience. Especially since Paul Wells' research, the aged 16 to 25s like the element of gore and explicit nature of horror, which they associate with the genre. So we wanted to keep that alive, especially since our target audience are those aged over 15. When we gained feedback from our peers who are avid viewers of horror, it was evident that they associated slasher with gore and blood, so we wanted to maintain that convention as it often works well together. So it would be odd to see a slasher without blood, and our peers who were over 15 also agreed, so we wanted to keep in mind that we are targeting it towards this age group and who have a particular like for gore, as I said before in Paul Wells, which was reflected. So we wanted to engage our audience, and avid horror viewers often expect to see gore and blood when they go and watch a horror film. We only had one scene within our horror trailer which had blood, and this was a shot, a really high angle, not bird's eye view, but almost high enough to be bird's eye view, as I stood on a chair, angle of Flora's father dead on the floor with blood all over his face. And it was extremely effective because we did like a shot of widescreen in between, so almost when put together in between each clip, it flashed almost like a camera, the shot. But this wasn't extremely gory, so we couldn't go too gory in terms of the fact that our target audience was those above 15, so it was only slight gore but not extremely shocking. We have the convention of a knife, which is also represented in Psycho 1960, Halloween 1978, Scream 1996. So all these slashers, which is also the same genre as ours, even though we have gothic traditional horror, which makes ours more hybrid, use knives to evoke a reaction of shock from the audience. Especially in Psycho, it's the large butcher's knife, and Scream with Ghostface. So we wanted to make sure when the viewer sees it, they're extremely shocked. That's why I was like, we have to use a knife. And this was the scene within our trailer when Megan, Flora's sister, picks up the knife from the drawer, and you have no idea what she's going to do with it. And whilst watching the reaction of our fellow peers in the premiere, it was evident that they found this scene shocking. So it reinforces the idea that we wanted to include a knife due to the fact that people often find objects which can cause harm and danger scary. So even those that may not find gore scary, we can scare those who find objects and sharp things scary or weapons scary. Also thought that using a sharp knife and the small knife which Flora has in the trailer would be effective due to the fact that it almost juxtaposes with, you see like the image, you see a young innocent looking girl with a bow in her hair and she's playing with a knife and she's stabbing the photos of her family members. So it reinforces the element of Flora's character because she's so evil in a sense, and it's just like a young girl, a young innocent cute girl like her is evil. What happened? So it reinforces that sense of mystery through the Enigma code, Ronald Barthes, that we wanted to reinforce throughout our trailer, but also highlights the fact that we wanted our audience to be shocked at the fact that there's this little girl who has a knife. Whoa. We wanted that shock factor, that element of fear